Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Golden Bachelorette. I'm struggling to understand why Joan Vassos wants to give up so much for Chock Chapple. Is Joan's family happy with her relationship? I'm struggling to understand why the Golden Bachelorette lead Joan Vassos wants to give up so much to be with Chock Chapple, including her family's comfortability. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 aired from mid-September 2024 to mid-November 2024. There were 9 episodes in total. Joan's season was filmed in July 2024. After narrowing her search for love down to 4 men, Jordan Heller, Chock, Pascal Abby, and Guy Gansard, Joan sent Jordan home, and Pascal self-eliminated. Joan had Tahiti locale dates with Guy and Chock, but she ultimately went with Chock. Chock was Joan's frontrunner out of her 24 contestants the entire Golden Bachelorette season. He was forceful with his protests of adoration for Joan and convinced her that their views on the future aligned. Chock proposed to Joan during the final rose ceremony, and Joan accepted. Once the season was finished airing, Joan and Chock stepped out into the media spotlight as an engaged couple. What I feel has happened since then is a lot of concessions from Joan, leading to disarray with her family and personal desires. Joan, 62, is from Maryland, while Chock, 61, is from Kansas. Entering the Golden Bachelorette, Joan, a widower, described that she wanted a man who fit into life and family life easily. Joan is a mother to 4 children and a grandmother to 2 kids. She hosts family dinner at her house once a week and has described that family time is of the utmost importance to her. Ending the Golden Bachelorette engaged to Chock meant she entered into a long-distance relationship that saw her away from her family for longer than I know she would like. In an Entertainment Tonight interview, I watched Joan relay that she and Chock planned on splitting their time between Maryland and Kansas, and that they were planning on buying a home in New York City in order to spend more quality time together. I believe ideally, Joan would have wanted Chock to fit into her life better. What I've seen is Joan bend to Chock's non-negotiation on that front, and settle with spending most of their time in NYC away from her family. Chock has not been the most reliable partner historically. Chock divorced his first wife and had a long engagement that never culminated in marriage with his second partner, which is a huge red flag to me. I see Joan as the one giving up the most to be with Chock, and it's not what she envisioned in her future going into the Golden experience. Joan's family does not seem to be sold on Chock. When trying to blend their families over the holidays, Joan described the times as being a little harder right now. I believe that speaks to Joan's children's hesitations about letting Chock into their lives, knowing he wants to whisk her away to a different state the majority of the time. What's more, 2 of Joan's children were not present in Tahiti to meet and ask questions of Chock, and the 2 that were there expressed concern about Chock's intentions. I'm positive after seeing Joan's post-show actions and behavior with Chock that Joan is putting Chock before her family. I do believe Joan is excited about finding love again, but I feel Chock's methods of persuasion to keep his desires for their life together under his control is something Joan's family is not happy about because Chock is taking most of Joan's time. Joan went to Kansas in the new year and spent time with Chock and his family, although the goal was for both of their families to be together. I see Joan's family's absence as speaking volumes towards the notion that their relationship is not working the way Joan envisioned, and it doesn't bode well for Joan and Chock's future. The Golden Bachelorette may have brought Joan and Chock together, but with Joan giving up so much and her family not outwardly supporting the connection, I don't think the relationship will last. The sparkling allure of the Golden Bachelorette lies not only in its quest for love, but in the myriad of emotions and controversies it ignites. Joan Vassos, the elegant and poised woman who captured the hearts of viewers from the very first episode, has found herself at the center of a storm. Her budding relationship with the unconventional Chock Chapple, a man whose quirks are as endearing as they are puzzling, has raised more than a few eyebrows, both among fans and her own family. To say Joan and Chock are an odd pair would be an understatement. Joan, with her refined taste, her polished demeanor, and her storied past as a philanthropist and mother, exudes a kind of grace that belongs in the pages of a classic romance novel. Chock, on the other hand, is the proverbial wild card, a free-spirited adventurer who seems more at home in the wilderness than at a black tie gala. While opposites attract, the question remains, is Joan sacrificing too much for a love that might not stand the test of time? Joan's leap of faith. From the outset, Joan's connection with Chock was undeniable. Their shared laughter during their first date, where they attempted to paddleboard and ended up falling into the water, showcased a playful side to Joan that viewers hadn't seen before. Chock's ability to bring out this lighter, more carefree version of Joan was a revelation, and fans couldn't help but root for their budding romance. However, as their relationship deepened, so did the stakes. Joan has made it clear that her feelings for Chock are genuine. "He makes me feel alive," she confessed during a teary-eyed interview. "For the first time in years, I'm not thinking about what's practical or what's expected. I'm following my heart." But following her heart seems to have come at a cost. Joan's family, her 3 grown children in particular, has expressed concern about the rapid pace and intensity of her relationship with Chock. A family divided. Joan's eldest daughter, Marissa, has been vocal about her reservations. "It's not that we don't want Mom to be happy," Marissa explained during a family segment on the show. "But Chock, he's just so different from the life she's built. He doesn't have the same values or priorities. It's like she's throwing away everything she's worked for to chase this fleeting romance." Marissa's concerns are echoed by Joan's son, Alex, who worries that Chock's unpredictable nature could leave Joan heartbroken. "He's a great guy, don't get me wrong," Alex said diplomatically. "But is he the right guy for Mom? That's what we're struggling to understand." On the other hand, Joan's youngest daughter, Sophia, has taken a more supportive stance. "Mom deserves to be happy," Sophia said with a smile. "If Chock makes her happy, who are we to stand in the way? Love isn't always logical. Sometimes it's about taking risks." The Chock factor. Chock Chapple is, undeniably, a unique character. A retired wildlife photographer with a penchant for storytelling, he's the kind of man who'd rather sleep under the stars than in a 5-star hotel. His charisma is magnetic, and his zest for life is infectious. But his carefree attitude has also raised questions about his compatibility with Joan, whose life has been defined by structure and responsibility. During a candid conversation with Joan's family, Chock addressed their concerns head-on. "I know I'm not what you expected for Joan," he admitted. "But I love her. She's the most incredible woman I've ever met, and I'll do whatever it takes to make her happy." His sincerity was evident, but whether it's enough to win over Joan's skeptical children remains to be seen.